Hello, welcome to Talk of the Good Game, and it's just finished. Stoke City 0, West Ham 0. We're here with our sponsors, Royal London Watches. Charlie, same 11 as last week that drew with Everton. Was that the right 11?
Probably. I think if I would have made an argument for two changes, it would have been bringing in Byram and moving Fernandez into Kiate's position and putting Kiate on the bench. And I would have liked to have seen Fletcher start instead of Kaleri, but given it was a positive performance last week, so I can't complain too much. It was the same shape, same vibe, and I was happy with
that. Tom, the first 25 minutes until we had a chance, really, but that was a poor 25 minutes from both teams.
Yeah, it was a slow start. It was an interesting start. Just slow to get going, sort of what we expected, really. I think it was, we said in the preview going up that it was going to be a bit of a boring affair, really, at times. And it sort of lived up to all expectations, really.
Once the chances started coming, they started coming good, and both keepers had to be alert, though. Tom, 25 minutes in, Fernandez, good work on the right, cut back from Kaleri, and the ball, well, I think it probably went out the stadium.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's such a debate around him that he shouldn't be playing, he should be playing. There's something I like about him, but he's not Premiership quality. I don't think he's not good enough to play in this league. He's just not. It just doesn't take his chances. His finishing's poor. Obviously, I know that we'll talk about another one of his chances in a minute that he had, but I so wanted it to work for him. But it's been the same consistent issues week in, week out for him. And I think really, that's it for me with Kaleri, especially after the bigger chance that he missed, 5-10 minutes later on.
Well, good work by Masuaku on the left. Cross for Ayew, overhead kick, a good save by Butland. And then Kaleri had another chance, Charlie. Fantastic ball by Collins. His first touch was okay, it was good enough. Tried to pass, got blocked, and then it fell for him about, 8 yards out on his left foot. He decides not to use his left foot. He decides to go for a ball now, right in front of the goal. Charlie, you're a defender of Kaleri a little bit, but even you must have been a bit stunned that he tried to pull that off.
No, I think it was his best option. I think he pisses me off every day that he doesn't just put the ball in the net, for Christ's sake. Like, I defend him because he has good movement, and I will defend that to the hill. People can argue with me, but they're wrong. He has really good movement. He just seems humanly incapable of putting the ball in the net. Tom said this to me, in a chat I'm in. He said, oh, yeah, he's not Prem quality. It's not even a quality issue. Strikers in League Two can put a ball in the net. He just seems humanly incapable of doing it. There were 2 or 3 golden opportunities for him to do it, and he just, every single time he misses it. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating because he has the quality to get into the right positions. That the chance you just spoke about with Tom, he makes that with great movement. He makes that opportunity, and yet he skies it, and it's so frustrating to watch because he's the only player in that team who makes movement, and he just can't put it in the net. It's killing me. It's killing me.
Tom, whether he can or can't put in the net, is that a stupid decision to make as a footballer when it's 0-0? You need your first goal for your club, if you like. Well, I know he got the one against Middlesbrough. I'm not accepting that, though. It was the world's biggest deflection. But in that position, what's he doing? Why is he even attempting that? Charlie said, I don't know. Decision, but I can't agree with that at all. I think it's there to either hit it with his left foot or you take the touch and then hit it with your left foot.
Yeah, exactly. I think he either takes the touch, because Martin's Indy's running out at him, he either takes the touch and shoots, or Butland's already on the floor at that point. He just has a choice to sort of smash it top left. I don't know why he's done that. I know that his sort of most famous goal, everybody sort of thought, oh God, this kid looks good, was that Rabona that he scored for Boca Juniors. But in that situation, when you're literally 5 yards from goal, I do not know why he's just not tried to spank it. And it was there to be hit, and he's just. I know he's not full of confidence, but. Really, like a Rabona from 5 yards out, it really doesn't make any sense. If that was any of our other strikers, i.e. Fletcher, they would have probably just tried to bury that, and for whatever reason, he's thought that the Rabona is his best option. I don't know, Charlie said that it was, probably one of his better options that he had to do, but no, he's either got to smash it or take a touch and plant it, but he's, for some reason, I don't know what his thought process is, because it's just incredibly strange, really.
I think he was hard work, and I thought he actually had an okay game. I don't think he had a bad game. His movement was decent enough. He was working hard, but when that chance comes up, he's just throwing it away a little bit, and I think he's only got himself to blame, and he does himself no favours there. Went in 0-0 at half-time. Creswell came on for Masuaku at the break. Tom, Masuaku, it's looking like all of a sudden one of our better players.
I know, yeah, he's frustrating. Obviously, I don't know what the situation was. I don't think it was tactical. I don't know. It didn't look tactical switch because he was probably one of our better players in that first half. He put in a few deadly balls into the box, especially the one that Ayew had. I think was it him that Ayew's ball? Yeah. So, he was one of our better players yet again. He rinsed Shaqiri twice and he defended well and he was good going forward again. And I think you sort of saw the quality was lacking in that second half when he wasn't playing down that left-hand side. Cresswell wasn't up to standard again. But it's just a shame because obviously he gets a few good games. It's just, like everybody else's season, gets a few good games under his belt. And if he's gone off because he's injured, then it's a shame because he was sort of looking like a shoe-in for that left-back or left wing-back spot for the rest of the season.
Well, lucky bounce from an Ayew pass, put check, not quite one-on-one, but gave him a decent chance. He went very close with the far post. And then the keepers decided to come into play, Charlie. Adrian had to be alert for a better shot and a Joe Allen shot. He had a really good game today, do you think, Charlie?
Oh, yeah, his distribution was still as terrible as it always is, but those reaction saves and the close quarter saves are what he was known for before, and he didn't make any horrendous mistakes, which we're used to seeing him make. So it's a good performance from him. There was a few which looked destined to be goals, and he's done well. He's done well because last week he wasn't tested at all. A good game, but let's be honest, he did literally nothing. Whereas this one, there were a few chances he had to be alert, and there were some really good saves in there. So thankfully, he seems to have that sort of reaction quickness to him back, even if his passing still lacks a lot to be desired.
Then the other keeper, another goal, Tom. Butland was busy enough. He did that save from Ayew in the first half, but then he had a shot from Ayew again in the second half, and a Lanzini header from 4 yards out, and he had to move his feet quickly. I mean,
yeah,
you see the reason we've only got a point today.
Yeah, I think so. But I think you could probably say the same thing for Stoke. They probably didn't score today, probably because of Adrian. I think both keepers were fantastic today, and that's why he's an England international. His shot stopping abilities second to none, and his awareness, the way he commands his box, is brilliant, and his reaction times are fantastic. You saw in the first half to get his hand down and power on it to save Ayew's overhead kick, and then again to get his feet down to Lanzini's header. We said it in the preview. If there's anybody that we wanted to take from that Stoke team, it probably would be Butland. And even though he's been off for something like ridiculous, like 405 days, he looks like he's been playing for the last 12 months because he was absolutely outstanding for them today.
Well, another pinpoint pass from Shaqiri for Arnautovic, and another good save by Adrian. He didn't quite make the most of it, though, Arnautovic. And then the two talking points comes, Charlie. First of all, he brings Noble on for a baffled Ayew, and then later on he takes Cleary off for Snodgrass, and we're left with no striker on the pitch. Were you scratching your head at that one, Charlie, those two subs, or can you see what he's trying to do?
You can't accuse him of risking it, can you? I mean, to take off the only two people you could make the argument were strikers pretty much in the team, apart from Fletcher, and bring on two midfielders, it's a depressing move. I can't really blame him for trying to secure a point away against Stoke. I think they've been poor for a while, and they looked like they were there for the taking. So I'm disappointed that he didn't go for it and go for the jugular, because, if you bring on, say, Fletcher, who has impressed me every time he's been on the pitch, he makes good movement, he's quick, he's clearly hungry, and he takes a risk, which is something not a lot of players do in our team, to follow the ball and do stuff like that. Maybe we could have gotten the 3 points there. So it's a bit disappointing to see him go for two midfielders. I can't blame him massively because we're in a bad situation and a point away isn't a terrible thing, but it's disappointing because three points were on the table there. 3 points were on the table and we didn't take them.
Tom, same question.
Baffling again. It's been the same issue all season. It's been his substitutions. And I think, like Charlie said, I will agree, Stoke were there for the taking. And I think if you're going to bring anybody off, it's to bring Noble on and Snodgrass. I think, what's the point in bringing Ashley Fletcher all the way up with you if he's not going to come on and play? And I think that was sort of, again, it was the wrong decision. Why he's brought on two midfielders and then put in Snodgrass up front, it's the same sort of mistakes that he makes each week. And I think, as you alluded to, Ayew was baffled when he had to come off, and especially probably when he was seeing that he was coming off a Noble. Stoke haven't been in great form, so I don't understand why we haven't tried to go for the juggler in those last 25 minutes. But he's obviously, like Charlie said, he's tried to rescue a point by putting a couple of extra midfielders on. But I don't think the way that the game was balanced, I don't think that was the right decision. Because like Charlie said, they were there for the taking. And if anybody was going to come off, I thought probably Kaleri should have come off for Fletcher and left Ayew on. But these are the same sort of issues that we have Slaven week in, week out, that he doesn't really know what to do in that situation. He's a bit tactically, he doesn't get it right at times. And today was another example of him getting it completely wrong with in regards to his substitutions. And this is why he has his critics, is because he does this, and he's done it consistently week in, week out all season. So yet again, he's opened himself up to more of the same criticism that that's been at his back, rightly so, for the last few weeks and months.
After about 10 minutes in the second half, if those subs were done then, I could understand it, because after 10 minutes in the second half, I thought Stoke were better than us. I thought they were pushing us in a little bit. I thought, crikey. But it's particularly the one when he took no ball on for Ayew. Ayew had just gone close a couple of times. He made Butland pull off a good save. Him, Lanzini and Kaleri, actually, I thought them two were linking up well. I thought Kiai was supporting them well, and Fernandez was supporting them well. I thought we were actually looking more likely to score. So when no ball was coming on, and then when I seen Ayew, I didn't really get it. Wrong sub. But I thought, okay, maybe he's put Noble in so he can put Kiati further forward, because I thought he was our best player today, and I thought he looked dangerous every time he went forward, Kiati. But that didn't happen. Kiati didn't really advance to further position. He ended up putting Lanzini up front with Kaleri, and I thought, okay, I'm not really getting this, because you've just taken away the player that's going to create for the strikers. You've just put him up front. So who's going to create for him? You just removed the creativity. And then when he did the one where he took Kaleri off for Snodgrass, I just don't get it at all. Snodgrass played as second striker at Hull, so if you put Snodgrass upside Kaleri or Fletcher, I'd kind of get it. But they would need Lanzini in behind. But that was removed. He's got those subs completely wrong altogether, especially when we'd lost our creativity down the left, as Tom said. When Masuaku could come off, we just lost the attacking edge down that side completely. And whenever Creswell did go forward, one of his crosses, he had all the time in the world, and it ended up in the way in behind the goal. But Charlie, not much else happened really, Charlie. It kind of went out to 0-0. Was this two managers who knew a point for each team would do them, and probably just nudged them over the line to safety a little bit more than?
Yeah, unsurprisingly, when one team doesn't have a striker and the other team aren't playing so well, it went out to a 0-0 draw. Like I said, I can't really begrudge an away point too much at this stage in the season when we're trying to just secure safety. Even though I've always said we're safe, I think I can't really blame it too much. It's just such a drab, disappointing end, because there was one point where we were looking really good and really pushing. There was one point when they were looking really good and really pushing, and the two teams have the ability to put on an exciting game. Except I think, given the situation, Mark Hughes' job was under pressure. Slavs has been under pressure all year. It was two managers who just knew that, do you know what, just get a point, just take it, be safe, move on to the next game, and then re-go again. It's a boring, but given their situations, it's understandable.
Is that fair, Tom? I mean, quite often we talk about players being out of confidence. Is this a case of two managers being out of confidence?
Yeah, I think two managers and two teams. I think you could probably sense I know we don't watch Stoke week in, week out, but you could hear from the boos around the stadium at the end at the Bet365 stadium. They were booing as much as we were earlier back in the season, so they're clearly frustrated with the way that things are going with them at the minute. But I don't think at any one point did we really look too under pressure. I mean, like we sort of highlighted on the preview, Arnautovic and Shaqiri, yeah, they've got a good moment in them, but they look to shoot from 25 yards every 5 seconds. And I think we had that comfortably under wraps the entire game. I think Berahino didn't do anything, but that showed, he's not scored in 7. And I understand that Bilic just wants. The thing is, like, don't get me wrong, it's another point, but it's and I think Bilic has seen that as another point. But it's a game that I think, like you said, maybe if it wasn't so tentative and it wasn't how the last few weeks of the season played out, maybe Bilic would look, like to have gone for the jugular, especially with the pressure that he's under at the minute. But it's just frustrating because I just don't think that they. I think Adrian and the defence were solid again today. I just don't think they put us under any pressure. So I think it's disappointing that that we didn't look to go for a winner, but it's completely understandable, especially with both managers' jobs being up for, on the line, so to speak.
Charlie, now we've got another point. Now we've got a point with a sort of a patched up side with patched up players, if you like. Does Village now have to sort of take the shackles off a little bit and go, there's 3 games left, 2 of them are at home against big teams. Let's just try and stop getting play for the point game. Let's try and play for the win, because I can't see us going down the top. I thought we were safe before today. With a point extra now, Hull have failed to win today. I really can't see us falling down into that bottom 3 now. So does Village just have to sort of rip up his defensive strategy, if you like, and just try and entertain the fans for the last 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, he should have done that at the beginning of the season. He's been defensive all season. I don't know why. Last season, if you'd made one criticism of him, it would be he was too open and attacking, and that left us, we would concede all the time. And this season, it's the exact opposite. We're too defensive all the time. I'd like to see us make some progress, because I want him to be our manager next season. I want him to be the man to take us forward. And so I think now's the time, if there is any doubt in the owner's mind about, who's going to be the manager next season, these are the games where it's essentially his audition to say, actually, I can take this team forward. I can do exciting attacking football while getting results against big teams. Because we've got 3 hard games. We've got 2 big teams come in, and then we've got Burnley away, which is really difficult. These are games to impress. And if he can step up, step forward, put out a team which attacks well, plays well, is exciting to watch, and he can get, even if we get draws, but we play excitingly well, then that will give everyone more confidence going into the season. We can have a break, come back next year, and it'll be great. This is his time. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he will be more defensive and just get draws, which I don't want him to be, but I think that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think the problem is, Charlie, that it's £2 million a place, and a point could actually boost you up a place. The league's that tight, so it could essentially, a point against Spurs playing defensive could get 2 million. Although the fans don't really care about the 2 million such. We want to see football. We'd probably like to see 1 or 2 youth players brought on as subs. Now Fletcher could have come on today. We could have had Holland on the bench. I think anyone would rather have seen Holland come on than Robert Snodgrass, unfortunately. It's the way it's gone for Snodgrass. I think everyone's just fed up seeing him. He offered nothing again today, absolutely nothing. But the problem is, there's no confidence in him. The fans haven't got any confidence in him anymore. The players don't look like they have much confidence in him. They don't even look willing to pass to him. When they do, they don't run for him because they think he's not going to give us it. So we'll stand to you. Tom, let's start wrapping this up. Your final words on the game, who played well, and man of match.
I think, it's. I mean, I mentioned pretty much all I was going to say in the previous, little, summary that I said. But I think as for playing well today, I think Kouyaté was mustard at times. Masuaku, probably, like I said, first half, our most dangerous threat down that left hand side. And the defence, I thought, they played well again. And Adrian, to a man, played well again today. So if I had to say one player, probably consistently over the 90 minutes, I'd say Kouyaté today. As for next week, I don't think we have to be under any illusions that Spurs will come at us and look to try and batter us. And I think I'd love nothing more than to win or to draw or to end Spurs' title hopes next week or on Friday. But, the reality is that that's not going to happen. And I think, I'd love to see Bilic come out and play that fast attacking football, but just with the games that are left, I don't think he's going to be able to actually do what he do that and what he wants to do. But no, man of the match today will probably be Kouyaté.
Yeah, for Tom. Charlie, who played well for you? Anyone that stood out as being underperforming, and who was your man of the match?
I'm tempted to give it to Kaleri just to annoy people, but I think I agree with Tom. I think Kouyaté played better than he has recently. He looked a lot more confident, and there were times where he was striding forward and looked a little bit like Kouyaté of a couple of seasons ago. I don't particularly rate him that highly, but I thought he played quite well. But Masuaku, given when you take away those defensive responsibilities and he's free to sort of just roam forward, he looks like a winger. He has the close control, he has the ability, he has the speed and the pace. He just impresses me consistently. But I'm going to give it to Lanzini, because Lanzini just is the creator. He drops deep out of the 3 up front, and it can stifle us a little bit. But when he picks up the ball, I just have confidence that something's going to happen. I get on the edge of my seat. I look at him. He can dribble past 3 or 4 players and then play a nice pass. It's just, he is the shining star in this team. And in the summer, if we can build a team around him, it's going to be amazing. I don't think it will happen, but he is the star of our team. And today, he continued to perform for me.
I think the first 11 today, all got 7.5 out of 10 at least. The problem is the three that come on all probably got about 6 out of 10. That's been generous for all three of them, unfortunately. That's where the problem lies. But I thought Masuaku was phenomenal in the first half, but unfortunately only played the first half. But I actually thought Ayew played really well. I thought it was probably maybe his best performance, although he didn't score unlike other games. I thought it was probably his best performance. He's getting more and more involved. Him and Lanzini are starting to understand each other and link up as each game passes. I thought Caleri did okay. I thought the back three didn't look like conceding at any time. Fernandes did well, out of position again. But the manager let the fans down today, and the manager let the players down today, and so did the substitutes. But for me, I'm going with I've already said it, but I'm going with Kiate as well. I thought he was fantastic. But anyway, make sure you subscribe. The button will be about here now. We've got these signed Antonio boots we're giving away. Just comment below your favourite Antonio. We're checking all the videos. If you just comment below, and we'll put you in the hat. Someone's been assigned Antonio boots, but we'll be back with our Tottenham preview next week, as it's the big one for West Ham fans, I suppose. This is one we want to win. We want to stop Tottenham any sort of small title hopes they have, but we'll be back. It's a 5-night game, so our preview will probably be Tuesday night. That's been Tom, that's been Charlie, I've been Gio. We're all disappointed. It's been 2 points dropped, not 1 point game, but we'll see you next time.